Hey there, and welcome to today's presentation. I'm Marcy Stoudt, and as you can see by the title of this webinar, we're going to talk about 5 simple shifts to finding balance without sacrificing your career. And if you're like most of us working moms, we don't have a lot of time to waste. So let's just jump right into the presentation. So who this is for? If you are a working mom and your vision of success includes career and family without sacrificing quality time or personal wellness, then you're in the right place. And it doesn't matter whether you've been struggling with this for years or you're pregnant with your first child. Pay very close attention because this presentation is going to give you the balance you desire in a way without sacrificing your career. So let's get specific around the benefits of this webinar. So first, we want to really talk about that elusive work-life balance so you can finally have some more me time. We want to go over how to perform better at work without burnout and how to be more present with your children, your husband, your loved ones, so you can be the hero they need, and how to take action without feeling any sort of fear or any sort of guilt or regret. And most importantly, how to make your passion for your work inspire your children to set big goals. My promise to you in this training is that I'm going to reveal a step-by-step process to finally find that elusive work-life balance that works for you. So you can stop the debate if you should go for your career or just give it all up to stay home with your kids. We know that there is no better time than now for women to be successful as mothers and executives. There's absolutely nothing in our way. The only thing that could be in our way is our own limiting thoughts. If you are serious about finding a successful career and that right level of balance with your home life and your personal wellness, this approach is going to work best if you are a mother who is serious about their career, you're not looking for any short-term fix, and you're coachable and positive. All right, but before we get into all of the good stuff, let me just check in with you and just see if this sounds like you. So do you wake up in the morning and you're already feeling rushed and the day hasn't even started? Or do you secretly know you need to do something more for yourself, but you're just kind of afraid to fully commit? And are there days where you just feel like no matter what you do, you're just going to disappoint either your kids or your coworkers, or you can't be everything to all people? Do you feel like when you're coming home from work, you feel burned out or exhausted and you just kind of wonder, is it really all worth it? And are you secretly terrified that if you don't do something soon, you're just going to quit your job and lose everything you've built? Well, if any of those problems sound like you, then I actually have really good news because none of those things that we talked about, they're not the real problem. Those are just the symptoms. They're the symptoms that stem from a deeper paradigm that is causing confusion, fear, and doubt. The real problem is you haven't made what I call the paradigm shifts. And once you make these shifts, you'll be fully present with your family when you're home. You'll thrive at work and you'll take on more opportunities. You'll wake up each morning with enthusiasm. Your friends and family, they're going to wonder what your secret is. And you'll be proud of how you're the role model of success for your children. You'll seek feedback and appreciate your opportunities to grow. And you'll lose that fear of if you're really making the right choice to stay home or to be a working mom. These shifts are essential for you to tap into your true power. Without these shifts, you'll constantly struggle with your vision of success, and it's going to have competing priorities. And I'm going to show you exactly how these steps make it possible to have motherhood as a part of your identity, while the other parts of your identity, they're going to contribute to your success as a mother. Before we go too much further, let me tell you who I am and how this has become my life's work. My name is Marcy Stoudt, and I'm passionate about working with women whose desire of success include career, family, and personal wellness. I have a track record of results with leaders through an approach that includes a focus on leadership, accountability, and mindfulness. And over the past 20 years, I've had many corporate responsibilities, lots of different titles for leading large sales team, leading customer experience strategies for our clients, Target and Apple, mentoring hundreds of women, and running corporate strategy and marketing for a company that was $3 billion. Despite all these cool titles and great opportunities, my favorite title throughout my career, by far, is the title Mom. Together with my husband, Chris, we are the parents of these 3 beautiful children who make us dream in a brighter future, believe that anything is possible, and appreciate everyday moments. The reason why I can speak to these struggles is that up until a couple years ago, these were my challenges too. I was constantly haunted by this debate of what kind of mom I want to be. Do I want to be a working mom or a stay home mom? And when I was thriving in one category, I just felt guilt in another. And I actually could never live up to this vision I had for myself because they had such competing priorities. And so as I continued my journey as a mother, I started to take notes to when women were thriving and when they struggled. And what I realized is that those women that were living their best lives tend to have this one common theme. She unapologetically did it her way. Sure, we all know that when you're authentic in your thoughts, actions, and words, things aren't going to always work out for you. But have you ever asked yourself and wondered why are so many women still struggling with balancing motherhood, career, and self-care? That's when I uncovered these 5 simple shifts to release the doubt that you can't be both a great mom and a boss executive. So discovering these shifts were critical for me because once I uncovered these shifts a couple years ago, I started to incorporate them into my life and found tremendous results. I launched a company with my sister and incorporated these shifts into my coaching practice and instantly saw results in my clients. And if you truly want sustainable balance and experience daily joy, these 5 shifts are essential. And I'm going to walk you through all 5 of them right now in this session so you can immediately apply them to your life. So let's go back to that debate. What kind of mom do you want to be? Do you want to be a stay home mom or a working mom? We kind of have to get clear on the simple truth that this debate is filled with stress, it's filled with guilt, and it's filled with fear. And there's 2 simple myths that once you acknowledge these myths, you'll realize that this question needs to go away. So, first, it is a myth that stay home moms have more balance, more quality time with loved ones. And it's also a myth that if a working mom wants balance, she needs either a reduced work schedule or less responsibilities. So let's acknowledge those myths because if you debunk the fact that there aren't 2 types of mom, a working mom or stay home mom, you'll be able to focus on a more powerful question. And that question is, what brings me the most joy? And if you think about it and you think about that question, what brings you the most joy? However, you answer that, you'll think differently about your choices. Many of us start with a fun answer like taking a splurge vacation or helping another one achieve their goals. And when you think about those things, like how does your career fit into that picture? Because when you want to do certain things because you know it brings you joy, the path to get you there often becomes just a part of the journey. And you start finding joyful moments when you're doing that. But when you find joy in what you do, you're just going to be amazed with the types of opportunities you create for yourself, your loved ones, and your career. And you know what's really great about it is you just free yourself from that trap of always feeling rushed and overwhelmed. So it doesn't matter if you're a working mom or a stay home mom, there is no escaping that feeling like you need to do more. When you prioritize the things that bring you joy, you'll be amazed by your ability to find more time in the day to do the things that you want to do. And for your career, when you set your priorities with the focus on what brings you joy, each day you'll feel more accomplished and excited to take on bigger opportunities. Once I started to focus on that word joy, I uncovered the next shift. And I needed to make this shift because I really need to get clear on a vision that I had for myself that actually inspired me. A well thought out personal vision can serve as a GPS for your choices, but there are only 2 reasons why you don't commit to a better vision for yourself. And the 2 reasons are is either one, it actually doesn't truly match up to your desires. So whatever that you cast this vision, if it doesn't really align to you and what you really want, it won't inspire you to stay the course. And the second reason why you may not commit to your vision, even if it's really detailed and exactly what you want, you have an underlying feeling and doubt that you don't think this vision is actually possible for you. That's what's key about making this shift. It's got to be specific to your authentic vision. And so for me, I've always had this vision of success, and it included a dynamic career without sacrificing personal wellness or quality time. And a couple years ago, I experienced doubt that my vision of success was actually possible for me. But when I learned how to go deep and a lot more specific with crafting a specific vision for me that worked for me, it just started to filter out the noise and it allowed me to see that motherhood was a great part of my identity, But the other parts of my identity, like my career, my friends, my meditation, they all just contributed to my success as a mother. It didn't take away my quality time with my children. It just made me better. And so think about what success looks like to you. And let's just say you put a number to it. So I'm going to give this example because sometimes everybody, when they're doing their vision work, it's really important that you just keep layering texture and color and even senses and smells or what you're wearing, because the more vivid it gets and the more you layer it on a daily basis, it becomes more and more real to being somebody that you actually want to step into being this person. So if when you're doing your vision work and say you put a number to it, like I want to be a career executive who's making $500,000 or say $1 million. When you start to visualize yourself walking in her shoes, think then like what kind of mindset does she have? How many people did she impact through her leadership or inspiration as she got to this path of making that much money? What were her daily habits to get there? Did she have a daily self care routine? Overall, I just love the thought of thinking through how would your children describe you to their grandchildren? You see, when you craft your vision for your success, what it's going to do is it'll empower you to make the right daily choices. It'll drive your mindset, actions, and relationships. When you're standing in that future self, that future vision, you're going to protect yourself from imbalances because you're going to understand what is most important. It helps you filter out distractions, welcome new desires, goals, and challenges. Because every time you get to a new height, you're going to see there's more opportunity. You're going to want more, and you're going to revel in that idea of wanting more. When you're inspired by your vision, you're going to take action without any fear, no regrets, and it'll just bring clarity so you can feel more joy no matter how busy your day is. Recently, one of our clients, Julie, came to us depleted with confidence. She was an accomplished executive. She knew she needed to do more for herself and her career. She just secretly feared if she could really handle a great career, self care, and taking care of her beautiful son. When she came to us, we started working with her and we applied our methodology to craft a personal vision of success. And soon after she did this, she just quickly uncovered these limiting thoughts that were holding her back. And she had no idea she was holding herself back with these thoughts. She saw daily opportunities to step into this future vision she had for herself, and her friends and family saw the difference immediately. Within a couple weeks of crafting this vision that she admired, she spoke differently, her confidence was back, her appreciation was at the forefront of her thoughts. She knew she had this opportunity that she could go for. With Julie, she had the experience and the connections. All she needed from us was the tools and the process to go for it without questioning her role as a brilliant, beautiful mother. Because when you commit to your authentic vision, it creates enthusiasm. So when you take action, it just doesn't create more work. It simply feels more purposeful in what you're doing. Once you have this vision, it's time to introduce the third shift. And this one is the most powerful shift. This shift is just like you're creating an expectation that others know you are going to live up to this amazing vision because it's so you. When you have a personal vision, but you don't really know how to make that change, the effort to find balance as you're going for that new vision may actually feel exhausting. And we know that change can be hard. And that's why we created the REVEL Way, which is a systematic approach to take action on your dream. Before we go into our approach, let's just think about what happens to your confidence when you feel there's too big of a gap between where you are and where you want to be. Well, you call it the real world. In the real world, this is stressful and you're not feeling a match to where you're headed. You're feeling stuck in where you are. You're going to have stress, anxiety, doubt. And when this creeps in, you're going to feel this need for a break. You're going to feel a need for balance. And when you're in that place, here's the old way of finding balance and relief. Because what we hear is all you need to do is wake up a little earlier to prepare for the day, or save money so you can have a spa weekend with friends. To find balance, just do daily journaling or commit to no work emails after 6 o'clock. Maybe you'll listen to a TED talk or sign up to a course. Often we try to set like better boundaries with friends, family, and colleagues. We might plan a weekly date night with our husband, or download a meditation app, or delegate more at work. Keep trying new time-saving tricks. Take a vacation, schedule time to volunteer in your kid's classroom, ask your boss for a 4-day work week, Remind yourself to stay positive. To find balance and relief, you might say, okay, I'm going to need to exercise more. I need to research mindfulness solutions. Or you hold yourself back on career opportunities and you just focus on your breathing, or you just play small until your kids are a little bit older. When you do it the old way, it actually feels more overwhelming. You don't even have the time to commit to a balanced life because you're so busy, or it feels like you've literally tried everything and you're simply exhausted. The new way to find balance is called the REVEL way. And there's 3 steps that we take you through. And the first is we get you really aligned to your vision in your thoughts, your actions, and words. And then the second step is we have you take ground daily, and we want you to have fun exploring the opportunities to be a bold leader at work and to be a brilliant, beautiful mother at home. You find that work life balance so you can just unplug at the end of the day, proud of what you've accomplished. Through this process, you're going to naturally start to speak as a visionary to create a network of people that are cheering you on and holding you accountable to this new personal brand you've created. It's the most powerful approach to find sustainable balance while growing your career. It sets you free from one off solutions and short term fixes. And with the Revel Way, you'll find that the solutions you need are actually right in front of you, and you'll find a bolder, brighter you that is living up to your best life. Our clients love this process because as you're doing the work, you're actually rebranding yourself into alignment. And it's an authentic action that creates an expectation from others around you. So here's a quick recap. So the new way to find balance is the Revel Way. What you need to do is get aligned to your vision. When you're aligned to your vision, you fully feel that you understand this vision and you're excited to take action. Have fun exploring bigger opportunities. And then the last thing is just find that work life balance. Put it into motion. You know how to do it. Now that you crafted your vision for yourself, you're taking action, you're finding that balance. And every time you start getting closer and closer to that future vision yourself, you're going to be bolder at work and more engaged at home. And you're naturally going to elevate your goals. So when you have a growth mindset, you are in a constant state of curiosity and desire for more feedback, more growth, more accomplishments, and more risks. But when you have a limited mindset, you start creating this paralyzed state, a feeling of frustration and disappointment. So let's talk about a growth mindset because this shift is critical if you really want to find that elusive work-life balance that's sustainable for the long term. I like using the comparison of how we teach our children that they can do almost anything. They can be whoever they want to be. We teach them believe in yourselves, learn something new every day. We tell them to take risks, step up to challenges, try out for that team or run for student council. We make sure they volunteer or they take an AP class. And when something doesn't work out, what do? We celebrate their efforts. We encourage them to go to summer camps and meet new people. And we say things like, keep trying, keep growing, keep learning, never give up. The reason why we do this is we know we want our children to have a growth mindset so they can be anything they want to be with no limits. Do you plan on giving your child an expiration date on that advice? Like never. You're always going to say, just keep going for your goals because you know every time they accomplish one, there's more for them to achieve. So turn that back on you. At what point did we put an expiration date on our growth mindset? From a personal perspective, I know what it's like to have a growth mindset slowly turn into a limited one, which had very negative consequences. So I want to share you my story. And it starts off with my career that I started in 1994. And I just graduated college. I'm on a fast path to a very, an awesome company. And I absolutely loved it. I excelled in almost every aspect of work and I was admired by many. And I not only was promoted to manage a team of 300 people, but at the age of 30, I was the youngest vice president and the only female. I had a track record of results through building a phenomenal culture with my team. And really, I was successful because I love seeking advice from others and I love learning. There were so many people at my company that I admired that it was easy for me to ask for their advice and their feedback on how I could be better to serve my team or serve the company more. And each time I was promoted, I set more aggressive goals, asked for more questions, and I just thrived. I loved what I was doing. And the CEO of the company, he used to tell me that I'd run the company one day. And I loved hearing that. And I felt very fulfilled with my career. And after my first maternity leave, I actually found a lot more purpose in my work. There's a lot of changes I had to make to go from a leader without children to a leader with children, but those changes were really positive. And I wanted to show my newborn daughter what was possible. And for the women on our team, I definitely wanted to be that example that you could have very big responsibilities at work and be present at home. Yet with each subsequent maternity leave, my fear of burnout just kept growing and growing. And over time, I chose to step back just a little bit every day in order to have more balance. I'd be slightly less prepared for my meetings. I was running around just a few minutes late. I felt that self care was a privilege and not really a daily expectation. These new daily habits, they were just weakening my confidence. And little by little, I didn't realize the impact it was having. As I feared judgment from others, I started to cover up mistakes and stop volunteering to lead strategic projects. I came home feeling totally burned out and just wondering if it was all worth it. And where I felt like an imposter is I was telling my daughter, Katie, that she could be anything she wanted to be. Yet I secretly started to doubt that for myself. So slowly, my limited mindset created these new habits that didn't inspire me. And I just gave up everything I built with my career and quit the company. This was after being a working mom for about 12 years. For 2 years as a stay home mom, I faked it. I was sure that becoming a stay home mom was a time that I was going to be more present, have more me time, maybe more fulfilled. I thought that because I'd be home more, I'd have a lot more quality time. But the ironic thing is, when I was working, I was more purposeful with my time that I had with my kids, that I made sure that each moment was really rewarding and fun and something that I could really connect with my kids and be present. And so when I was struggling for 2 years, debating what type of mom I wanted to be, maybe I should go back to being a working mom, somebody introduced me to the concept of the growth mindset. And when I started to study it, that's when I realized that was my missing piece. If you haven't researched a growth mindset, let me just review many of the benefits. So, with a growth mindset, here's what happens. First, you believe you are capable of doing nearly anything. Those with the growth mindset, they're fearless in trying new things. They accept failures as opportunities to grow. They speak positively about themselves. They seek advice. They are convinced that there is more for them to achieve, more opportunities, more fun, more learnings, more growth. They purposely surround themselves with people who are smarter or more experienced. They revel in the moments to challenge yourself and take risks. And they face difficult challenges by adding one simple word, the word yet. I'm not good at this yet. I don't know how to do this yet. I've never tried this yet. And Henry Ford said it best. Here's the quote I love: whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way, you are right. So think about it. Whether you think you can do something or you think you can't do something, either way, you're right. So for me, once I got clear on my personal vision and I embraced a growth mindset, that's when my sister and I unapologetically went for it. We were blinded by our vision and we didn't allow ourselves to have any doubt. We just cheered each other on and we just kept saying, we're doing it. And we had a ton of fun as we were building this company together. And what we did together is we embraced this growth mindset of sometimes doing it on our own and a lot of times just leaning on each other and always being in this mindset that there's a solution right around the corner. So the more success we saw in our business, the higher we set our goals, the higher our confidence went. The more we had these goals, the faster we wanted to achieve them. It became almost addictive. And so, yes, we love the idea of being able to figure some things out on our own, but to truly accomplish what we know we will accomplish, we had to embrace this fifth shift. There is a reason that most elite athletes and executives have coaches. When you truly want to be the best, you're going to need more than just support or mentorship. You need accountability, knowledge, encouragement, and focus. So, to put it in perspective, let's go back to our children. When you see a greater version of them at any age, you're going to make the investment. You're going to invest in an expert to help them along the way. So that might be paying for their college tuition. You might do private lessons or tutors. You might sign them up for travel sports teams. There's all these things we do as parents to invest in our kids to make sure that they have the support to live up to the dream and that they're truly going for it. I'm going to ask the same question. Is there an expiration date that we put on ourselves, that just because we're now on our own, that we don't invest in ourselves the way we would invest in our kids? Whatever you need, invest in the best coach for you, because here's what a great coach does. They're going to identify deep-rooted beliefs that are holding you back from taking action. They're going to provide a confidential space for you to express your fears, and they're going to hold you accountable to achieving high goals that you want to achieve. And they're going to create an abundance mindset. So instead of limiting thoughts like, I'm just too busy, or I don't have enough money, they'll help you get right in the mind so you figure out a plan to make it happen. And another thing that's really cool about coaches is they challenge you and celebrate you every step of the way. So what's really important about this shift is think about how big your goals are and think about where you're headed, and don't do it alone. Find the mentor out there, do what it takes to work with them and get the results you achieve, because there is greatness in front of you and it's all a matter of you making the steps to get there. When you close the gap between who you are and who you want to be, these are the 5 shifts you need to make. Prioritize joy, commit to your personal vision, use the REVEL way, embrace a growth mindset, and invest in coaching. So thanks so much for joining us today. I hope you understood the value of these 5 shifts and you have enough information that you can go forward and start applying these shifts, because when you do, you're going to be so thankful that you did. And with that, I'd like to wish everybody a great day, and thanks again for joining me.